Hi guys, welcome back to Vlogmas. Today, I'm with my mom.
Hi.
What's your name?
Cynthia.
Cynthia. And today we're going to be talking about, or we're going to be asking her questions about being a parent, being an adult, and being a mom, being a real adult. Okay, so we'll just get right into it. And I guess I wanted to do like a little bit of an introduction. So we already know your name is Cynthia, but how old are you? Where are you from? And what do you do for work?
I'm 45 years old. I am from Baldwin Park, California, and I am a pharmacy technician right now.
Awesome.
For Kaiser.
Yeah. Very cool. What did you do for work in the past? Because now you've recently like switched, but just for some background.
Yes, I was at a furniture manufacturing company, RC Furniture, and I was there for 26 years, family business.
I'm 26 years old.
His grandparents actually owned the business, so I spent half of my life almost there.
Crazy. So we'll get into the first question. Hopefully it's an easier one. I said, what is the best part about being a parent and specifically a mom? So you can think parent in general, but what are some things that are maybe mom specific?
The best part about being a parent, I think, is watching your kids grow. For me, anyways. Yeah.
I'm gonna cry.
And specifically about being a mom, I don't know. It's like every decision you make, it doesn't like just affect you anymore. You're not deciding things for yourself. It's like you're deciding things for like, I don't know, 3 other little people that just came into my life.
3 other little people. Yeah.
So yeah, I think your decisions as a parent and as a mom, it affects more people than just yourself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay, just random, but what is one of your best memories as a mom?
One of my best memories as a mom.
Just putting you on the spot. What?
Yeah, let me think.
One of the first things that comes to mind.
Little hands. Like holding your guys' hands when you were little. And your hands were always so sweaty little hands. But yeah, that when I think of my girls, I think of their little hands. Like I remember holding their hands.
Oh, that's cute. Little baby hands are always so cute.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good start. Okay, so I have, what is one of the most challenging things about being an adult? And I guess you can think about it as a young adult, maybe as a 20, as a 30, and as a 40. Because it probably changes.
Yeah, as a young adult, for me, it was kind of like you're trying to balance your adult life with your life with friends, having fun life. Mm-hmm. And, if you do too much of one, you hurt the friends' feelings.
Yeah.
If you do too much of the other, then it's like, you lose track of your responsibilities, I guess.
Yeah. That's also early in your career, so you're probably balancing 3 things too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so that's probably in your 20s. And then yes, in your 30s you're kind of okay, what type of work do I want to get into? You probably learning to manage your money a little bit better because you start getting a car and that kind of stuff, so you have more financial obligations.
Yeah.
And in your 40s, for me anyways, it was trying to get back to who I was, since I did have Alexus when I was 18 years old. She is my oldest.
Yeah, and then Lydia when you were 19.
Mm-hmm.
And then Steph when you were 18 plus 4.
Mm-hmm.
22?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so by 22, I had the 3 girls, already bought a house, already bought our car, so we were set, very lucky at an early age. I don't think most people can do that.
Buy a
these
house
days.
or a car now? No.
Yeah. But so in my 40s, it was, since they were grown, getting back to who I was, what I like to do, and just actually learning to make time for myself, because through the years, you give all your time to your kids and it's great and you love it and you wouldn't change it. But it's hard to get back on track to like, not thinking selfishly, but it's like anything I do, it's like, okay, well, what are the girls going to say, or what are they going to do? Or if I go get my nails done, it's like, okay, does anybody want to go get their nails? Like I have to get used to doing stuff on my own also, because they have things that they do. So yeah, or else I'll just stay home all day.
Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty good answer. Okay, so those are some of the most challenging things about like each stage. I like that. Okay, so Michi actually had the question, how is the world different now than when you were a kid? And what can we learn from it?
Everything's definitely more expensive now. And just the times, everything's a lot more scary. Like back when we were young, we played outside. We didn't lock our doors. The garage door was open all day long. The kitchen door was unlocked. So like really anybody can walk into our yard, walk into the house through the garage. But like back then we didn't think about those things.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And now like somebody knocks at the door and it's like, oh my God, let me check the camera. Who's at my door? Like,
yeah.
So it's just overall, like it's just, I don't know how things got so scary out there. Or I'm just a paranoid person.
Yeah, no, I think it has changed.
Definitely more expensive.
Mm-hmm. What about from being a parent? Like your parents being a parent versus you being a parent. Do you think that has changed? Being a parent has changed over the times?
I think so. Growing up, I mean, I don't know. I just felt like things were easy, or maybe, well, I don't know, because I'm looking at it from like the child point of view. So like, I think, yeah, it was easy for my parents, but I'm sure for them at the time, they had 4 of us. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure they had their struggles too. You know, it's just, I mean, and now it's still hard. It's just like different stages of difficulty. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Good rewards at the end of everything.
Yeah. And I guess what can we learn from it? What can we learn from things being scarier?
Just be responsible, and karma's real. Be nice to people.
Okay, so would you have done anything differently if you did not have kids? So this can look like many things, like maybe live in a different place, different career, or how might things...
If I did not have kids.
Yeah. Because kids are a huge chunk of your life. They take up a lot of time, a lot of responsibility.
If I did not have kids, I honestly think like I wouldn't have gotten a house so early. I wouldn't had a reason to like buy a home so young and everything. But
maybe
honestly,
you would have just been a kid longer, or like I don't know.
I think
maybe more time with
because
friends.
After school it was like, okay, it's time to get a job now. I went to community college. I didn't go to a university or anything like that. Mm-hmm. I knew I wanted to kind of get into the medical field. I didn't know exactly what. So I don't know, maybe that would have gone somewhere. But I don't feel like me as, a teenager at that time, I really wasn't driven to like, oh, I want to do this or I want to do that. Like a lot of kids are these days, and I think that's great. But I wasn't there yet. I just wasn't there because I did live at home with my parents, and like I didn't have any bills to pay or anything like that. I didn't have to worry about anything. Yeah. It was fun. Yeah. Yeah, I probably would have been a kid longer.
Yeah, okay. So you said you weren't like as driven to like do things. Not really. Maybe you were with more of a like go with the flow type of person, but also I think it's different now. I don't know if it's like social media or just like the internet has made the world a smaller place. Because I think for you guys, it's not unusual that you just grow up and kind of like live in the same city, and all of your friends' kids have kids, but they're all around like generally the same city. Mm-hmm. Like it's kind of weird for anyone in our family who lives outside of California, right, or like outside of LA and San Francisco, because
that's where we all
I don't know, that's just that's just how everything was. But now I don't know, I kind of think maybe it's the internet, or like you see like people on trips and you're like, man, it would be cool to like
places.
Go there, or like see Paris, or go to vacation in Hawaii. Like that was kind of our go-to, because it's probably what a lot of other people did around us, right? Like Hawaii, Mexico, because it was close and it's what you knew.
And then like I didn't really have those friends as like, oh, I want to travel when I get out of school, or like we didn't really have, I didn't have those kind of friends anyways. And then I think too, going back to like the internet has made, or social media in general, has made everything so much more competitive. It's like, okay, oh, my friend went to Paris, so I want to do this. you know, and that wasn't around back then, so we were happy to do whatever we got to do pretty much.
Yeah. Do you think you're happier as a kid or as a younger person without social media? Because you have social media now and you use it, but compared to like being with me, who's always had social media, probably since like high school, or like Steph, who's also had social media since she's been in second grade, maybe. I don't know, it's just always been around. Do you think that affected anything?
I mean, I think I was glad I grew up without it because, like I said, I played outside. I used to ride my bike up and down the street. You know, I didn't start like getting into talking on the phone till I was maybe in 7th or 8th grade. So like junior high.
House phone or cell phone?
House phone connected to the wall.
With your parents right there.
We try to find the longest like phone cord so that we could wrap around the wall like to this little area where people couldn't hear us as much.
That's so
and
funny.
then like the cordless phone came out and that was just like heaven.
Then you can go to your room.
You could go in your room. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's like now, even when you do go out or go to dinner, it's like, you know, everybody's on their phone and it's like you're out at dinner or wherever, at the zoo or Disneyland, and it's like, you know, oh, what are my friends doing? Or, oh, you know.
Yeah.
That could be a little distracting, and you don't get the real like experience of doing those kind of things because, you know, everybody's on their phones and everything. And I'm guilty of it too.
Yeah, I know. I also
it's easy.
Yeah, I also wonder what it was like to just do things, and maybe you have a couple of like pictures from your camera recording the moments, but you don't have your phone recording everything or taking a picture of your salad or your drink or little things like that. So
now what do they
it's
say?
Just different.
If you don't post it, it didn't happen.
Yeah, if you didn't post or pictures or it didn't happen. That's what it is. Yeah. Okay, so what is the biggest life lesson you have learned so far?
Oh man.
That one's a hard one.
The littlest decision you can make can affect so many people. That's my biggest lesson I've learned.
Littlest?
The littlest decision.
You're crying.
Tiniest.
Okay.
But yes.
Okay. I can dig into it deeper or just leave it at that. It's up to you. It's up to you.
Just, I don't know, like, don't, in the moment of things, don't let, like, your feelings or your emotions or whatever it is that's going on at that moment, like, don't act on it right at that moment. Give it time, let it sink in, think about it, and you'll probably make a better decision after doing that.
Then in the heat of the moment is what you're saying?
Then in the heat of the moment.
Yeah. That's probably good advice, to just let it
marinate in here for a while.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for clearing that up. Okay, so what are you most excited for this next year?
Ooh. A special wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Special wedding. And just to see where, you know, this past year, I think we had a lot of changes. So I'm pretty excited to see what the next year holds. Yeah, like where I go in pharmacy, that's still really new for me. So it's still very exciting for me. And
this will be your first full year of like being in that position, not like transferring into it.
Yes.
And
then,
so that'll be cool.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see like what new things I learn and what else I can do with it.
Yeah.
And just, I don't know, seeing like what you girls have coming up for me.
What do we have coming up for you?
Yep.
Huh. What do you mean?
Just, I don't know. You guys always have like just little stuff that come up or.
Keeping it interesting.
You keep me on my toes. All of you. Steph especially.
Okay. What about the next 10 years?
Oh boy.
So you're 45.
5
now. Yeah. Next 10 years.
Sheesh. Can I retire at 55?
Sure. I think so.
No. I don't know. I guess I never really like think that far out because
it is far, yeah.
Yeah, I'm always kind of worried like, okay, man, what's going to happen tomorrow? Sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know. Next 10 years. I don't know. My thing is like watching you girls. You know, you guys will have graduations within that time and stuff. That's the kind of stuff I look forward to.
What about for yourself?
I'd rather not say that on camera.
What do you mean?
within 10 years, I mean, I do hope to be a little happier than I am today.
Okay.
This past year. But you know, time heals everything.
That's true. Yeah. Good goal in general. Yeah. Okay, so this is, what do you still want to figure out in life?
What do I still want to figure out in life?
Yeah, so this is actually one of Michi's questions, and I think what she was getting at is that, you know, we kind of think that our parents and people that are older than us, or even being like a teenager, you just assume that like 26-year-olds have everything figured out. Yeah, what are one of the things
45-year-olds don't have everything figured out.
Either?
No.
Yeah. So what are one of the things you want to figure out in life?
My gosh, I never even thought about a question like that.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
Yeah, thank you, Michi. Can I get back to that, or is that the last question?
No, we can come back to it.
Okay.
I'll skip it for now.
I'll think about that one a little bit.
Okay, so one that I had was that if you can give someone in the audience, someone that's listening, one thing or like one piece of advice, what might it be?
Watch the Taylor Swift Eras Tour.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
That's just yeah.
Okay, one piece of advice. Be financially responsible. Care about your credit score.
Yeah.
That's a big one. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, like, be a good person. Be nice to people. You know, you never know what people are going through. Be patient with people. And that's probably like the most of it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you think being a mom has made you more patient?
Definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah. More patient, and also a little more paranoid, because when you're when it's just you, it's like you just care about yourself, or like,
yeah.
And when you have other daughters, children, sons, kitties, yeah, it's like you, like I said, anything you do, it affects everybody. It affects everybody else, and
she's in the video.
And
yeah, she's gonna knock it down.
Oh no,
it's okay.
So
get your phone out of the way. We still have more time, unfortunately.
Okay, she's drinking your coffee.
Hey, she didn't like it, huh? She didn't like it. What do you still want to figure out in life? Coming back to this one.
Oh boy, that's a hard question.
Yeah.
What do you want to figure out in life?
What do I still want to figure out in life? Maybe what I do when I graduate. Yeah, what life looks like then. Because that's just like a whole other bag of uncertainty. Like, what job will I be in? Who knows? Will it be in academia? Will it be outside? Can I be a full-time YouTuber? No. And then I feel like with that starts coming like, oh, when do you want to have kids? That starts becoming more of a thing. Where do I want to live? If I want to travel a little bit, where do I want to travel to? When do I want to settle down in one place? And yeah, that's a whole thing of uncertainty. So maybe knowing a little bit more about what that would look like.
I don't have an answer.
No.
Like, I honestly never really thought that far ahead, because every day's different. I really can't even plan that I'm going to go to the store tomorrow, because something always happens, and like,
yeah,
it ends up not happening. Yeah, I can't think of anything.
No? She has everything figured out.
I don't. I don't want to jinx myself.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I guess you don't have any sons, but what do you think are like the major differences of raising a daughter versus raising a son?
The hair.
Did you ever want a son? Did you ever wish you had a son? Or I don't know. What do you think the difference are between raising girls and boys?
I think girls are definitely probably more expensive, because
Why?
when they're little, you want their dress to match their socks, to match their hair ribbons.
Okay.
You know, they're more difficult. They have all this hair that you have to brush. And I don't know, to me, little boys, you just put shorts and shirts on them.
And they look fine and they're good to go.
Yeah, girls are very emotional. Maybe my son probably, would have been emotional too, because I'm extremely emotional. So I would guess girls are more difficult. Did I ever want a son? Yes.
Yeah.
I wish I would have had at least one son, in addition to you three, not in place of you three. Because I don't know, to me the son is like, all the sons I know, it's like not that they take care of their mom, but it's like they kind of feel like they have to look after their mom.
Yeah, that is a little bit different.
And then, I feel like it's kind of like the buddy for the father in the family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to have a little boy to, I don't know, go hiking with, fishing with, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But then I feel like I'm stereotyping like what the boys do to what the girls do.
Yeah. I know, I went hiking.
Yeah. But no, I would say just that. I mean, I would think girls are more difficult. Because then you got the boyfriends, you got to worry about if they're going to get pregnant when they get older. And with boys, I mean, you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Not as much, maybe.
Yeah.
Nice. Is there anything else you would like to add? Anything else you can think of that I haven't asked you yet?
You're never going to be ready. Like people say, oh, I'm not ready for kids, or I'm not ready to settle down, or you're never going to be ready if it's whatever it is. And it's like some things like that, whether it's settling down, getting married, having kids, buying a house, some things I feel like you just gotta like jump into. And like, yes, you know, buying a house, it's gonna be expensive, it's gonna, you know, be scary, it gives you a lot more responsibilities, but some things in general, like if you don't just jump into it, like one, you're never gonna know, and two, you make it work, you know,
you just learn it as you go.
It's kind of like if you work somewhere and you make whatever $14 an hour, it's like you learn to live off $14 an hour. And if you work somewhere and you make $30 an hour, then that's what you're used to. So you just kind of, some things you just kind of got to jump into, I would say.
Yeah. I guess, what are your thoughts on how people were parents really young back then? And I feel like that doesn't really happen as much now. Like, it definitely does, but I feel like our generation of people are kind of like stretching out their 20s, and
I think that's great.
The 20s are more for themselves, and then...
Yeah, I think, I mean, those that want to travel or want to really get their career down, I would say, not that there's a right and wrong way to do it, but like thinking back, how you say, like, if I wasn't... like, I probably, or I would hope I would have, like, gotten that stuff straightened out. Because then it just makes, when you do get to that point, you know, it just makes everything easier. Because you're financially stable, you have a good job. Whether you can live on yourself, live by yourself, like on your own, or with somebody else, it's like you don't have to depend on somebody to, like, count on somebody to be there to help you do these things.
Yeah, you're kind of just...
So you know you're
self-sufficient, Any advice for, like, first-time parents? I don't know who's going to be watching this, but just...
Goodness. Advice for first-time parents, cry. Cry if you're frustrated, anxious, lonely. Like, you know, you gotta cry sometimes.
Cry?
Yes, because, I mean, you three were very good babies. I didn't have, like, none of you had colic or any type of, except for the asthma. Lydia had asthma when she was a tiny baby. Like,
and she was a little one.
Yeah, like 5-6 months old, she had asthma. So that was probably the more difficult thing to face with a young baby.
Like a little bit scary.
But just, you know, you're never going to get everything right.
Yeah.
And you just got to be patient. Like I said, cry if you have to. You'll feel better. Oh, that's what I was saying. Because you girls were, like, pretty easy to raise. But I know one of my sisters just had, like, that baby that had asthma, that had colic. All the baby would do was cry.
Yeah.
Cry and cry. And, like, she didn't know what to do with him. She didn't know what he wanted. You know, a young mom also, you get frustrated, or, oh my God, what am I doing wrong? Or...
Yeah, when you can't make the baby stop crying.
Right. So you just got to be really patient, and just enjoy those years that you have them little, you know, because they grow so fast. Look at Alexus.
So big. What were your favorite years?
Ooh, my favorite years.
Yeah, with us.
With you guys was probably 1 through...
That's tiny.
26.
Wait, what? No.
No, like 1 through 10, 11 years old.
Before middle school time.
Before middle school, yeah. Because
then they get mean?
in middle school, you guys got a little more moody.
Okay.
Like, you know, when you're little, it's like all you want to do is play and everybody's happy. And in middle school, for the girls anyways, it was like they kind of get more of that attitude or more of the, you know, depends who they're what type of friends you guys are hanging around with. It's like, oh, I don't want to do that.
That's right.
Well, you know, at the same time, you're starting to like develop your own personality.
Yeah, kind of be your own person.
So it's just a lot of change during those middle school years.
Oof, and then it's really like a surprise any day.
Right, and then through high school, you kind of, okay, this is how they are. And I had 3 girls, and you guys are all so close, but you're all so different. And like by middle school was when I started seeing that, like more so with you and Lydia, because you guys were so close in age. And Steph too, but I can probably compare you two because you were so close.
Yeah.
And it was like you and Lydia, personality wise, were like night and day, like after middle school.
Why is that hard for you, or different for you?
Not that it just, before it was like, okay, let's go do this, yay, everybody goes, you know, we all want to do the same thing. And later it was like you always wanted to do the outdoor stuff, and Lydia was like, I don't want to get dirty, and I don't have the right shoes. And so then it's like, it's hard, not that it was super hard, but it's difficult to find something that everybody wanted to do together. So it's kind of like, you know, maybe you would do this with your dad because you guys like the hiking stuff, and Lydia and I would maybe go to the movies because the hiking stuff, like,
it becomes a little bit more divided.
Right.
Trying to keep everyone happy.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, not that it's a bad thing. It's just your personalities were kind of developing during those stages. And then, you know, then once you guys reach where you are now, like your early 20s, it kind of just all comes back together because you guys realize, like, you need me a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, what would you say were your most memorable years growing up? Or maybe to reword it, what do you remember, like that you liked doing? Things we did, like, okay, we went to Disneyland or whatever.
I think it's hard because I don't remember. I remember 5, but I can't even tell you. I just remember playing softball most of the time. I feel like that's what I mostly remember. Zoos and stuff like that, but I don't know. I think it's hard for me because I don't remember the young stuff.
Okay. Like what's the youngest you remember? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah. Maybe being at St. John's. I don't know that I remember being a kindergartner, but I kind of remember my friends. And yeah.
Do you remember making Grandma a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for your field trip?
Yes, I do. Yeah. Was that in 5th grade?
No, you were little.
Littler?
Yes, I think that was
no,
like
5th grade, because if I had a field trip, not 5th grade, 5 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say you were like
kindergarten. Okay.
She was so excited because she got to take a chaperone to, I don't know, where did you guys go? To the zoo or
like Aquarium of the Pacific or something.
Yeah, so they got to take a chaperone, or they got to take one person with them on the field trip. So she chose her grandma, right? And if anybody knows her grandma, this is going to be extremely funny.
Yeah.
But not my mom, my mother-in-law. And, you know, for the field trip, it's like everybody has to pack a bag lunch, and then so getting ready in the morning, she was making, Alexus was very stubborn. That little, she had to do everything by herself. She had to make her own bed. She had to clean her own room. It's like you couldn't help her because you didn't do it right. So she was making her peanut butter and jelly sandwich, put it in a little plastic pouch, put it in her little paper bag with her name on it. And she made Grandma a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and put it in a little bag with her name on it. So when it came like lunchtime, she's like, Grandma, I brought you a sandwich.
Hey, that's kind of sweet. You don't think
she ate it?
But yeah, I can't imagine Grandma eating a peanut butter jelly sandwich. No, there's no way.
No.
That's
as far, like, that's the furthest.
Yeah, so if I messed up, I think kindergarten is the first ones. Because most of my young memories revolve around school or softball. I feel like I don't have too many, like, home memories or zoo memories or Disneyland. Like, I can remember seeing pictures and I think that I might remember it, but I don't think I actually do. I think it's just the pictures.
So, let me just ask you, do you remember when we went to the mountains?
In the snow?
Yes.
Yes,
And
but I was a little bit older
You were a
then.
little bit older.
Like
maybe
10?
12, yeah, like
Okay.
10, 11.
Yeah.
And we went, and Alexis was playing in the snow. And then, I don't know, she swore her hands were frozen and gonna break off or something.
Hey, I had never been in the snow that cold,
She was
that long.
crying, and she had regular little mittens on, but because they were fabric, they got like all hard.
Mm-hmm.
So she was actually crying that her hands were frozen.
Yeah, no, I know. I remember standing in front of the heater, having
Uh-huh.
to go back inside
Yeah.
in the snow. I do remember that.
Yeah, that was a really fun time.
Yeah.
The time we stayed in the cabin.
Yeah, no, I do remember the trips and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess I was thinking younger than that. But maybe my favorite time was also being little or being where I'm at now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is nice being where I'm at now because maybe you just appreciate things a little bit more.
Right.
Like, I can appreciate my sisters more. Maybe you kind of do when you're little because they're like the people you play with.
Uh-huh.
And then you go through middle school and you're just like sick of everyone. Like, I'm sick of them, I'm sick of you guys. Yeah, but then I think looking back, you realize like, oh, I was a little bit mean then. Or why was I like that? Or why did I, just go in the car and like not want to talk to your parents on the way home or something. Like, I think you do realize that you're a little bit mean when you're in like middle school and high school.
Those years. Yeah, because I
Yeah.
feel like those years get so blurred because it's like you guys were, for me anyways, like so focused in school. So it was like you said, softball, homework.
Yeah.
And then same thing through high school, your school was super competitive. So you guys took your books wherever you went pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those kind of get like,
They're just more like monotonous maybe.
right.
Like,
Same thing every day.
yeah, and I think we've talked about that too, is that, I don't know, do you feel like your life is different now that you don't work in the same place? Or like, how do I say this? Like, I think people like grandparents, right? They say like the older you get, the faster time flies. And I think that's just because you have like less new things. Like, you realize if you do the same, like if you're just in the same job and your day looks the same day to day, it just feels like time goes by so fast. But I think, yeah, if you mix in like new things or you're like doing new things.
Yeah, it kind of like brings a little spark to
Like those years kind of just blur together because it's kind of like, that's when we did this.
Right. Right. Yeah, no, like, the 26 years that I was at RC, it's like, yeah,
Do they kind of blend together? Like, you can probably gauge it by how old we were, what you were doing with us.
Right. The years there just flew by, and that kind of ties into like time flew by. You guys, grew while I was there working.
Yeah. But the work didn't change that much, probably. I mean, maybe the offices were a little bit different.
Yeah. I mean, it got a little more challenging, with everything else, but the work didn't change. Same place, same thing every day.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, I mean, at the pharmacy, it's every day's a different day.
Yeah.
You get different patients and work with different people. So it's kind of like what's going to happen today?
Yeah. Yeah, and you're learning so many new things right now, too.
Yeah. So that's exciting.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I have one last question.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Do you have any advice for parents of kids that are coming out or something? I thought that was like a little bit relevant too.
Just listen to your kids, support them. It wasn't anything you did or didn't do. It wasn't anything they could have done or didn't do.
Yeah.
And it's just, love is love.
Oh, that should go in a pillow or something.
I have a pillow. But yeah, just accept them. And, I know with whatever traditions, religion, and some, families, it may be easier to do that than others. And then a lot of times the older grandparents, great grandparents are more traditional.
Yeah.
So they're kind of a little like, nah. like, no, it's not, it can't be. But you just gotta support them. You know, they wouldn't be telling you if they didn't like know it was true. They're not going to tell you and it's like, oh, I think I'm this way.
Yeah.
It's like they're not going to tell you till they know. And you know, you just got to love them.
Yeah.
Love them, support them. They're still the same person. And you're still the same person, you know, and for myself, you know, it's a blessing because I have another daughter.
Yeah.
I didn't have to go through no pain, no pregnancy, no cravings.
You just get a little bonus one.
Yeah, you get a bonus. And like I said, it's like, it's nothing that could have been avoided, and it's nothing that can be fixed.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. And, you know, you just got to be happy for them and also be, like, really proud of them for telling you, because it's not easy and not a lot of kids can do that. So they choose to, you know, keep it hidden. And over time, I'm sure that eats away at them. And, you know, that's never a good thing either. You wouldn't want to be in that position, and you wouldn't want your child, or you shouldn't want your child to be in that position either. Because, yeah, that can do a lot to a person.
Yeah.
You know, it's everywhere, and just accept it. I would say just accept it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I love you.
I love you too.
I'm crying. I feel like I was tearing up the whole thing.
I had to not, because I won't stop.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you liked the chat. I hope you enjoyed the chat.
I did. I hope I don't look like a boy. Look at everybody. I have
She wore
earrings on.
earrings.
I could look like a girl. My hair's in a bun.
But told me to put the camera farther and farther so you can't even see the earrings. Well, thank you guys so much. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it.
And subscribe.
And subscribe because my mom said so. Peace. Hey, you do watch the videos. Aw, that was good.